Hey everyone, we already discussed Patek's new releases in depth. Well, guess what? My favorite brand, Audemars Piguet, also has some new releases that are certainly worth discussing. And let's just say some are wow and some are wow. Where do you guys want to start?
So many places. Let's start maybe with...
Let's start with a prediction that Adrian made probably a year ago when we did a Watches and Whiskey.
Which we can pull that up on Watches and Whiskey.
Let's play that clip.
Design your own watch.
Oh, it's a good one. A gray ceramic Royal Oak perpetual calendar. Because they have the black, they have the white, they have the black skeleton.
That's not very creative.
A gray.
So Adrian, during a Watches and Whiskey and before your time, I think the question was, what would you do or how would you make a watch? You said, I would like to make a blue ceramic perpetual. This black ceramic perpetual, you had the white ceramic perpetual and you also had the skeleton perpetual. And you called for a blue ceramic perpetual. Lo and behold, here it is. What are your thoughts?
It's one of those things when you actually design something and when it actually comes into fruition, it's two different things. So in my head, it looked better than, look, a lot of the pictures like we're looking at monochrome right now, it doesn't really look like that. The blue is exactly how I thought it was gonna be. But then when it's actually live, I was like, whoa, that's like a lot. So I also said, along with the blue one, I wanted to see them make a gray one or like a Nardo gray one, because I think that would be phenomenal.
Like a Baba Watson gray one? A Richard Mille?
More Nardo gray. Yeah.
The black non-skeleton perpetual ceramic was probably the most subdued one. Up until now, the white one was the loud one. Listen,
if they make a stainless steel one, or like a titanium one, skeleton perpetual, that would be incredible.
You mean like they've already made for years?
No, but in a 41 case.
So, your thoughts?
The black one to me is the absolute best. I like it over the white. I like it even over the skeleton. This is the OG. I don't like the blue at all. It just doesn't do it for me. It looks like a cartoon watch a little bit. You know what I mean?
So let's take an original concept, my favorite complicated AP of all time, original 𝗪𝗏 concept, and let's compare it to this new GMT.
Okay.
Was this a fair comparison?
Not really, because there's different functions in here, different materials.
No, but in reality,
different layout.
Look, it's a concept tourbillon, right? Okay, this one is a GMT. I get it. This is it's a chronograph. It's a flying. I get it, but just aesthetically, we went from this to this.
But see, on a strap,
What would you rather have?
this one.
Yeah, see, same here.
Okay, so we have the two skeletons, Yves Klein dial, right? Is it more the same like we discussed earlier with Patek or Rolex? Where
Yeah, it is. 100%.
That's not a slight tweak. That's a pretty loud tweak.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the color tweak. That's all it is.
Resale value, black perpetual or that?
Long-term black. It's the OG.
But yet the fate of the
No, they're certainly, I guarantee you, going to make far less blue ceramic than they will black ceramic.
What
I think
makes
it's
you say that?
because from what I understand, colored ceramics other than black are harder to produce.
Okay, but that stands true with the white ceramics. They made less white ceramics than they did with the black one. I agree.
And there you go.
It's an original 𝗪𝗏 concept. The retail on the original 𝗪𝗏 concept.
I don't like your comparison. You're talking about two different watches, regardless if it's a concept.
I understand. I'm taking watches that are more or less on the level, and I'm looking over time. This came out in 2000, 2003. It's been damn near 20 years since this came out. This came out, what, last year, I think? Or was it
More. It's been a couple years.
Couple years. What's the retail on this? Do you remember?
Current retail is sitting somewhere around the 200 mark.
And what is it selling for?
Right around there today.
So it's selling slightly over retail.
Yeah.
This originally came out of the gate at 120,000 retail.
It's a big difference. Yeah.
And it's trading around to $200,000 mark, right? So I'm just trying to prove, because he mentioned original, the OG, right? The first.
But they're trading almost equally. This granted is trading a little bit more, but still to a certain extent, I think the future collectibles in that one also because of rarity. I mean, it's a different example. They only made a couple hundred.
The 𝗪𝗏 concept is a historical piece, and you would agree with me on this.
But so is this one.
Pretty much.
So is this one.
It is.
I mean, we're talking Renaud and Papi. We're talking about a movement that's now translated into Richard Mille's. We're talking about.
We're talking about a watch though that was the first ceramic Royal Oak. We've never seen a ceramic bracelet finished to this degree or this level.
Look, I will say this. It's not so much a preference thing of which one I like better or which one is better. I like the black one more because it fits me, my personality, my lifestyle better. I wear more black. The blue is too loud for me. I can't pull it off. I don't have the type of personality. I think maybe you, especially with that hoodie, could pull off the blue ceramic. I cannot.
Let's talk about price out of the gate.
I already seen it out of the gate at $350.
All right, so there's already one out there.
they're out there.
Well, which brings me
Pretty
to our
fast.
next new release, and that's the AP Music, which we already happen to have one. Actually, we have two of these, I think, right?
Dude,
With all
I'm
the
sorry.
different
I have to do this. I have to do this. I mean, come on.
You're not going to let me live the sweatshirt down.
I can't.
Marcus, if you're watching, thanks for the great advice. Now they're all making fun of me. What's the difference in the movement? Let's just to back up a little bit.
So I think it's got a nice, better like in-house movement that they started using also in the code. They kind of transitioned, I think, a couple of years ago in the offshores. So versus like a couple of years ago when they had different movement. And then also the little details, right? The equalizer dial, but also on the side of the case, you can see like the different DJing kind of accents. I like that. Those are nice little touches.
The better question is, I've had people ask me, what do I think about it? Ever since we started posting it, should I buy it? Would you buy it, Adrian? And I said, you know what? If I was into music, if I was a musician, if I played guitar, if I DJ'd, it's probably something I would pick up. I just don't have any type of connection
So
to
here's
music.
what I'm going to tell. Here's what I'm going to tell you about. I watched Eric's video where he reviewed this. His comment was, why not take this watch that's music theme and tie it to a rock star, a pop star, a rap star, somebody, right? He also don't think he had the watch in hand, so he said he wasn't a fan. And I kind of got biased by that when I first saw that video. And then I got the watch and I was completely unbiased because A, I like it aesthetically, and B, here's a question to you and you. Would you rather see this watch tied to a specific ambassador? And I keep the business aspect of things in line, because now if you're tying this to an Ed Sheeran or a John Mayer, now there's a cost associated with that. Odds are you're making more pieces in order to be able to cover that.
I mean, they
cost.
made 500 of them. I think it's pretty.
I think if you put John Mayer's name on that, I think you would have to probably make another 1,500 just to recover.
I disagree. If I didn't go to Audemars Piguet website and I don't really know what the reason for them to make a music watch is, it's like, what am I really buying here?
But it's just, I like the fact that they kept the music because it's so much more broad.
Let's just give it a grade.
I mean, honestly, I'd say probably B+. I like it. Again, it's much more
Adrian?
wearable.
I'm gonna give it a B-. It's gonna pass.
I'm giving it an A, but I'm biased because it's my favorite brand. Let's go to some of the other new releases.
I really like what AP has done with the codes, especially of late. So they did actually 3 new variants, one with the open work dial in blue, and then this beautiful onyx dial. It's actually onyx. It's sick. This is awesome with a flying turb, and then also this open work.
So this is not the first time that they did code skeleton tourbillon variations in any way. They just obviously made a few changes here. Like, I'm surprised that there's not more demand for that type of product.
That one is a manual wind as well.
I think it's automatic, actually.
That one is an automatic. So let's take the most basic Royal Oak chronograph, tourbillon, right? Yeah, this one dates back obviously a lot further out. If we're gonna take a code, this is just a chrono. We don't have that watch in stock, obviously. More wearable.
Far more wearable. Love what AP and Co started doing with putting the reference number NB, which signifies the ceramic in between the rose gold case.
Is the code 1159 line the next millenary line? I
think it surpassed it because, you have to remember back in the day when we were selling jewels and we were selling millenaries, as you like to call it, they were supremely heavily discounted. I'm happy that they went the code 1159 route versus having to do the same with any of the millenaries or the jewels lines of the past.
The skeleton chronograph tourbillon is amazing.
This is super cool.
Onyx, I love the onyx, and I would call that subtle but to the point. First of all, I like stone dials altogether. Give me a day-date onyx dial all day, I will love that.
But even like the Rolex day-date onyx dial, right? It gets kind of lost. It's not that special. That code, there's a lot of onyx real estate.
Go back to that code for a second.
There's a lot of onyx real estate on there. Look, there's no markers to take away from the dial.
Well, that's I was going to say. So you have the minute markers. You have the minute markers.
They took the
on
indices
tachymeter
off.
Scale. They took the indices off. I almost wish that they took the markers on that.
It's almost like the appeal that it almost looks like the skeleton. The tourbillon.
Gives me a Moser vibe.
It's floating. The skeleton looks like it's floating.
Exactly, and all your attention goes from the dial into the tourbillon, which is the most visually.
I give them.
That's an A+.
That's an A+, 100%. And then the next one is just out of this world.
I don't love this one, actually.
Really?
I like the rose gold black better. The rose gold black to me is the nice.
So that's just a tourbillon. Skeleton.
Yes, correct.
Right? And
I almost picked this one to have over the chrono, but I cannot unsee the fact that it looks like a cyclops in the center. Like, I can't unsee that. As soon as I put that thought in my head, I can't unsee that.
you have the tourbillon chrono skeleton, the rose and black combo. You have the onyx dial, right? And then you have the blue.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a choice. Offshore chronograph.
I'm gonna go with the codes. For me, personal wearability.
No way. This is one of 20 in ceramic.
I get it. I'm talking about for me, personal wearability.
Okay, you do this.
Easily this. This is much more special. Royal oak case.
No, I get it. I'm talking about.
this is a very comparable watch. It's a skeleton.
I am a consumer and I have to wear the product. I cannot wear that. It's too big for me. Now, if you ask me which one do you like better, you know, I'm gonna the 43 millimeter offshore tourbillon that they made. Unbelievable watch. I can wear that. So I will choose that one.
To me, I mean, listen, as a lover of horology, I'm going to pick this all day. You know what I mean? Like, it's a more complicated watch, more complications, and you get first of its kind lubricant-less escapement. I mean, a perpetual calendar chronograph. Like,
what is good about these pieces is that they've hit their bottom, right? So that's why it's always a good bet to buy something like that, because when you're getting something that's such a high complication, it's already at the bottom. I would definitely advise somebody against buying this watch at retail price, right?
Right, of course.
It's hit its bottom, so you're safe to buy it at such a sharp discount.
So if we go back to the onyx dial, right? So that watch is all about the dial, onyx tourbillon, or better yet, the frosted purple monster. Ooh. So I'm giving you this, or I'm giving you the onyx tourbillon. What do you take?
I can't answer that question because, in my opinion,
again, this watch. Would you? Granted, it's a frosted.
Here's what it is. You're asking. See, I don't like to compare. I don't like to compare and contrast two different things. You can't tell me, you know, do you like a Rolls-Royce Phantom or do you like a Ferrari F8? Monday through Friday, I like the Rolls-Royce, and on the weekend, I like the F8. This is a sporty watch. That one serves a completely different purpose.
𝗕𝗫 perpetual, or that tourbillon onyx dial.
See, this and the frost is the same thing.
Okay, let's go to the skeleton, right? If we go back to the skeleton perpetual tantalum rose dial. I think this watch was made before Marco was born.
Yeah.
And with that said, I'm giving you the choice of that or the chronograph tourbillon, code 1159.
Infinitely more special. This right here, tantalum case. Infinitely more special. Just at the time it was produced, considering when it was produced, to make a watch like this in this case metal.
I'm going to go with that one just because I know that I'm actually very confident in the fact, I don't know for sure, you don't know, and nothing is 100%, but I am confident that if I wear that out, I'm not going to run into somebody else with it. You know, so.
I'm going to take the tantalum out of the picture. Yellow gold.
Yellow gold. This one, right? It's one of my favorite watches.
You guys are not showing enough love to the code 1159.
No, I mean, you put up some big, you know.
Yeah,
some,
come on, these are the greatest, arguably, Audemars
some Hall of
Piguet
Famers,
Royal
bro.
Oaks ever made.
You can't throw Hall of Famers in there. I mean, like,
it's like,
why don't you tell me about the platinum skeleton tourbillon ultra thin?
I mean, what do you think?
All right, here's one. Onyx over this.
Because I have a smaller wrist, I would go with the code 1159.
That's a fair
well, then let me ask you. Let me switch gears a little bit and go to that holy crap release. So how do we go from taking seemingly what looks like, you know, a decent ladies Royal Oak and get to that?
Okay, so those are at first glance I thought that those were colored stones.
They are colored stones.
No, I'm not talking about on the bezel. I'm talking about in the dial.
On the dial, yeah.
How do we get from here to there?
Dude, I like that.
I don't know, man.
I
This
like
looks
that, man.
ridiculous.
What was the one Hublot clothes that we used to have?
The Tutti Frutti?
The Tutti Frutti, right? That to me is AP's remake of the Tutti Frutti. It's too much. It's too much.
Roman, but if you look at a lot of what these brands, a lot of what these brands are bringing back to the forefront is stuff that was popular back then. You have to understand, men's watches, they're scaling down case sizes. Vacheron 222 is a 37 millimeter. That's flying through the roof. They're toning it back. They're taking it back. This is exactly their answer to that.
This is not toning it down.
They did 41 and 37.
I'm talking about they made it.
Would you pick one you would wear?
I would not wear
41.
This is
no, 41 millimeters.
These are 41s?
They're coming out.
Yeah, there's 41 and 37.
Oh, they're making 41s.
Oops.
Oh, that's.
Show me one you wear.
To me, this is ridiculous. I don't understand it at all. I don't like it. I just don't get it. I mean, I think this is a joke.
Super simple in terms of horology, but yet so bold. There's an appeal to it, and I can't wait to see it.
I wouldn't call this bold. I would say this is literally them just selling gem set. They basically, this is what people do aftermarket. This is AP saying F you to the aftermarket.
No, they never made aftermarket like this.
Hey, they've done some funky stuff.
They've done some funky stuff like this. I guarantee you.
I've seen some funky aftermarket. The question is how many they're going to make. Is it too much? So they released 10 different colors. Why
They're not going to be good sellers. I can tell.
I beg to differ. I think they're. Gonna
I don't
be
think
good.
they're gonna.
I think they're gonna be good.
I don't think they're
sellers.
going to.
I think they're gonna be good sellers, and I think they're gonna.
I don't think they're going to be good sellers. I like the fact that they took a bold approach and they made so many color variations, but every time a brand does that, they don't sell because people like, I don't know what color I want. When there's too many options.
Oh, actually, that's right.
Thank
When
you.
there's when
come
there's
out with
too many
one
options,
at a time.
it starts to
Information overload.
But hold on a second.
information
But then on the flip side, they make one, it goes crazy. They make another color, it goes crazy. They make another, and they're like, wait a minute, you're just gonna keep making
get.
them
So
in
make
different
two
color?
or release 2 or 3.
You're without knowing retail. Guesstimate on the market prices on these.
Dude, again, it's hard to say. I mean, it's 100 plus retail for sure.
I think it's 200 retail, depending.
I
on
don't
that.
know.
I mean,
See, I don't know what else is.
Some of these are
Hold
like
on,
sapphires,
Are the
rubies.
bracelets fully?
Yeah,
filled?
the bracelets
Oh,
fully
then
filled.
they're good. Then it's gonna be
it's
gonna be a
hundreds of thousands.
$250,000 out the gate.
the yellows, I believe, should be a sapphire.
No, there's no like diamond.
Again, how many diamond Royal Oaks can you make?
Yeah, but there's
Like,
a
this
lot
is-
of them out there already. Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. The jury's still out on these. I like the idea. I like the approach. I would buy one for my wife.
All right, so question for you guys. In combination with the 50th anniversary releases, the ones that we covered today, what do you think about AP releases
2022?
overall? Yeah, 2022 releases. Obviously, let's see if they
what's your
release
pick?
anything else.
Love the 39 skeletons that they came out with in steel and rose gold. I love the skeleton tourbillon that they came out with in stainless steel. Phenomenal watch, although we'll get to that watch later and why I picked that one over it. The 16202 lines that they made, finally they switched out the old JLC movement, quick set date. The Sunburst Yellow Gold 16202 VA is phenomenal. The 16202 OR, phenomenal. And I'm happy, obviously, to upgrading the 16202. The rest of the stuff that they made in 41 and 37, I'm very upset with. The Chronos that they made, total flop.
Out of the 2022, to include the anniversaries, releases this year, give me your top 3 picks.
I got the BA, the Open Work Turb, and
Anniversary.
also I like the Code Onyx
Yeah,
style. It's
I'll have
so-
to agree with
Oh
him.
my God.
What are you going with? Those same 3?
Those same 3.
Okay, so my picks are going to be, from the code line, I'm going to go with the blue skeleton, tourbillon only, not non-chrono. I'm going to go with the tourbillon
Notice I
skeleton.
I picked an Onyx Tourbillon Code 1159 over a Blue Ceramic Perpetual. Who am I?
For my 3rd pick, I have to go with the blue ceramic perpetual. Those are going to be my
Fair play.
picks.
That's a Roman watch, I think.
Now, last but not least, before we wrap this up, do you go with the
All day.
anniversary Royal Oak tourbillon you just picked, or again, this is the 40th anniversary, and then there's the 50th anniversary.
I'll take the 40th.
Let me tell you something, okay? That 50th anniversary has got nothing on this watch. Not
Why?
even close.
It doesn't.
It's just nicer. Like, listen, I have a handle.
And it's 40 pieces.
To be fair, I have
you.
a handle. I don't know if you guys
I made
have
40
hand-
pieces.
Yeah, this is much rarer. It's much, honestly, to me, this might be the greatest open worked AP ever made.
I agree.
It might be. It might very well might be.
100% in agreement with you.
I-
Just aesthetically, that other dial, if you see it in person, is far busier than this. This is just so to the point, and you can just see every detail without your eye just losing what's going on. The other one is just overwhelming. There's just too much going on. This is platinum, extra thin, 40 pieces made. Like it's just super special.
And
it just
don't forget, platinum
perfect.
at the time that this was made, right? Like, it took Rolex how many years to make a platinum bezel for the date? AP finished a Royal Oak bracelet and case to this degree 10 years ago.
That's pretty badass.
Never actually thought about it like that, but yeah.
Well, because
Pretty interesting,
he's all
yeah.
about the finishes, remember?
Hold on, wait a second. Now that I'm thinking about the,
Oh, see, I knew he was
have-
going to go back. I knew he was going to go back.
I was trying to think, was it released in
There was this.
past year? Okay, so
There was also the steel version of this
some
one, but
of-
the platinum is
Okay,
more.
okay, I lied. I'm going to take the Onyx away, and I'm going to go with the RD3. That is the 39 millimeter.
RJ3 was released.
No, that's RD2. RD3 is the 39 millimeter skeleton Royal Oak tourbillon. 39 millimeter. That's what I'm going to go with.
Where are we talking about open worked?
Not open work.
No,
Right, it's got the
39,
blue, yeah, blue
39 millimeter
flying tourbillon.
Royal Oak turb.
Yeah, ooh,
And
that's
a
a good
39.
one. You know, it's the first ever flying turb in a jumbo size. It's gonna be a future.
That's what I'm
collectible.
saying. That's
Yeah.
okay. I take that.
That was in my top
I
5
take-
watch
I
releases
take,
this
I
year
take-
video,
I take
so
the
yeah,
Onyx
yeah.
away. I totally forgot about that release.
I don't know.
RD3.
The Onyx still kills it for me. That's so good.
All right, guys. So here's our hot take, or maybe not so hot take, on the new releases from Audemars Piguet. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, guys. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you on the next one.